Every great city lives and breathes through its railway. And for Sydney, Australia's biggest city, the heart is Central Station.
Yeah, this is the office, all right. Never a dull moment. Every day is a different scenario.
Please stand beside the doors. Let the customers alive first.
We've only got 2 minutes. Let's load from the front.
1.3 million journeys every day. And the brains of it all, the Rail Operations Centre.
Sydney Train Security.
The Rock.
It's Vaughan from Security Control. Who's this?
Icon on site.
Yeah, police, we've got an incident.
Play forward.
If I can see him, he shouldn't be there. He's basically trespassing.
The concern is that the male is intoxicated.
They need to see if we can see anything suspicious.
This is the network like you've never seen it before.
We're going to have a lot of delays.
The weather, then we had the broken down freight train.
Our priority is to get a train every 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Do nothing until I speak to you.
Access all areas.
No!
2, 1, fire!
Capturing every moment.
Look at that.
New South Wales Railway Band, formed in 1896.
And the soul of the network.
I'm really proud to be part of it.
I just found him.
Is he breathing?
The people.
Another day in the life of the railway.
All right, guys, let's go.
For your safety, please remain behind the yellow line at all times.
Coming up. At the Rock.
Oh, he's off again.
Tim deals with a violent situation.
Oh, he's just assaulted another male.
The biggest ever Harbour Bridge upgrade.
We just got to make do what we got. I know it's hard.
10 years in the planning.
Sorry, mate.
Just 10 days to complete. But a huge storm puts it all in jeopardy.
Mitch, lightning. Oh, left.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
New Year's Eve 2020. Normally, millions would crowd the Sydney Harbour foreshore, choking trains to get there. But thanks to COVID-19, tonight there are none.
There's nothing you can say. It's just spectacular.
For New South Wales Transport boss Howard Collins, there's nowhere he'd rather be.
Not too smoky. Now, they shut the road bridge, but what is fantastic is the trains keep running.
As the fireworks fade, Howard knows every train on the bridge is about to grind to a halt.
So we're walking down here, hopefully to meet the minister. We're keeping a radar. Normally I get a call from the minister or his chief of staff saying, Howard, we're already here. So I'll just double check. But
everyone in the transport department is nervous. The minister is about to announce a massively significant event.
Today we're announcing a major piece of work in relation to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We are going to shut the bridge to trains the first 10 days of next year.
Repairing the bridge's rail line will cost $80 million and cause massive disruption.
there ever been a period of 10 days when it's been shut to trains before in its 88-year history?
The Sydney Harbour Bridge is the main link between the city's north and south, the artery bringing workers into the CBD.
Yeah, not a problem. Send the machine back and I'll send it up.
5 a.m, January 1st.
How are we? How you going? Good. How you doing?
The Harbour Bridge's 88-year-old rail line is being torn up and a new one put down.
Can we send it back up, please, with the batter bucket?
The most ambitious ever repair of the bridge's rail corridor has begun.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I need to go and update the schedule, ready for an update.
It must be finished before the working year begins in 10 days. 200,000 commuters normally take the train. If they're forced into cars, it'll be gridlock. The pressure is immense.
I've been working on this job for 10 years, so this is the pinnacle. So we've had works pretty much. We've had teams working over the last sort of 3-4 months, 24/7 itself, getting all the preparation work done, and now we've got the last 10 days around the clock to get this works completed.
Glenn is one of 3 shift coordinators.
What do they need?
Who will share the responsibility to keep the project on track. From now on, it will run 24/7.
To start on bolting 12, it's going to finish at 0400.
Missing the deadline is not an option.
We've got heaps of steel repairs to do. There's an excess of sort of 9,000 holes we have to drill and put huck bolts in. There's hundreds of locations where we've got to do steelwork repairs and plate up. We're busy.
The main mission is to lay long-lasting precast concrete panels on the bridge in its approaches. Before that can happen, the aged sleepers, bolts and supports must be removed and the steel below repaired. To complete the work on time, every task is scheduled to the minute.
Rail removed 11. And then transoms will start coming out from 11 until
3 in the morning?
Yeah.
It'll take more than 4 hours.
Already, on day one, there are problems.
We just got to make do what we got. I know it's hard.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, yeah, it's struggling.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can't up the amps? No.
It's 15 amps. Yeah, it's 15 amp in there as well.
Just using power off the bridge, they're having troubles on the power to run their tools. Can you ask her and find out if there's an issue with their power? I got Rob talking to him now.
Power is failing to the crews on the deck.
Copy over.
And then there's the weather.
Yeah, weather's a big concern. We're out in the elements here. We've got rain, we've got wind. There's no cover for us. We've got electrical equipment, makes things slippery, and we've already had about an hour of showers. Well, good rain today. Forecasting rain at about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then there's rain for the next sort of 8 days forecasted.
By lunchtime on day one, the biggest rail project in the bridge's history is 4 hours behind, and there are cloudy skies ahead. To compensate for the lack of trains, the Transport Department is running 170 extra buses every day from North Sydney into the city. But the impact of the closure is being felt across the network as passengers navigate the temporary closure.
Well, I tried to tell him that I'm a comet more than a star, but didn't he?
While commuter numbers are lower over the holidays, Central is still buzzing with activity.
You all good?
Yeah, good.
Central is the place to be. I guess for us, the most exciting place to be. We have the best people working for us, but we also have wonderful, wonderful customers.
Yeah. You gonna hold my hand?
Yeah. It's a unique place.
Due to the Sydney Harbour Bridge shutdown, train services have been affected on several
How are you? Everything all right? New look?
They're going to send the police down here to have a chat with you. Okay, so just have a seat. Would you like a bottle of water? Yes? I'll give you a bottle of water.
So if there's any issues, raise it. We want to help you, yeah? It is the biggest and the largest station precinct that we have in Australia. This is the most glamorous. Better than Flinders, hands down.
Is that good enough for you, so huh? Did you like that?
It's the morning of day 3 on the Harbour Bridge. After early power problems and rain, the team is working hard to make up lost time.
Today's day 3. This is when we sort of got the peak of people out there. This is when we've got big teams of track crews, blasting like boiler-making crews, and we've got painting as well.
Yeah, I've got a full one here. Put the full one on top, 2 short ones, and then put another full one on top.
There's over 200 people per shift, including plant operators and everyone else, per side. So that's about 400 people each side. So it's a lot of people, a lot of coordination, a lot of things to get right out there, and we're doing really well.
They need to be doing well. There's just 7 days left before the bridge must reopen. And the most important task is yet to begin, bringing in 266 concrete panels to replace the ageing timber sleepers. Right now, those panels are being carefully loaded onto trains in a rail yard at Chullora, 15 kilometres away. They've been precast in Newcastle and brought here where they'll be test assembled as they will be on the bridge.
Going? Oh, so much. That's good. Good from here.
Remy is surveying every panel. Weighing up to 5 tonnes, they need to be placed with millimetre accuracy.
It's just the marks don't look right. Well, this mark is off by about 10 mil. Yeah, are you happy? Yeah, well, we try and get it as close as possible because it's going to be a little bit different on the bridge because you get thermal expansion, the beams are moving this way and that way, but yeah, if we can get it right here, it should make smoother running on the bridge.
Yeah, it's okay. How about you?
Happy? I'll live with it.
Chullora is a fitting location for the job. Construction on the boiler shop here began in 1922. Within a year, work started on the Harbour Bridge. Much of Sydney's rail infrastructure was being built here, at the same time as 52,000 tonnes of steel arch began magically levitating above the harbour to form the bridge. The two halves joined mid-air in 1930 and proved their strength in 1932, when 96 steam locomotives parked on it end-to-end. The bridge deemed safe to open a few months later.
It is kind of nice to be thinking that you're building something for the future, something that, you know, you can go, oh, look, kids, that's what your dad built. It won't fall over, so because Dad built it. But yeah, no, it is quite exciting to be maybe contributing to the future of this country. It's cool.
The bridge repair needs to run like clockwork, so the first load of panels must leave Chullora by midnight tonight.
I like what I do, I like my job, I like the railway. You know, I'm coming in ready.
At the Rail Operations Centre, Duty Control Manager Megan is starting the evening shift.
No, copy that. So Penrith will warn the up trains and St Mary's will warn the down trains, is that correct?
When it's fully operational, there's 115 odd people on the floor on one shift.
This is where every critical aspect of the rail network is monitored and reacted to.
look around this whole control room floor here. We've got a security team, a train crewing team, a fleet team, a performance team that monitors all that, and our network maintenance. Every little role in here plays an integral part of what happens out there.
None play a bigger part than the security team. In addition to monitoring the network's 12,000 CCTV cameras, every 6 minutes they answer a call for a new case.
We've got a few trespass matters. There'll be a few break and enter into rail train crew cabs, possibly some graffiti incidents. Apart from that, it should be a reasonable night, business as usual. It is REM 2020.
Tim's settling in for his first incident of the night.
We've got a report there's a highly intoxicated male person on this train in possession of a shopping trolley full of items. The male person is at Carramar Railway Station. That station is currently unstaffed. The concern is that the male may end up on the tracks and the unsecured shopping trolley may roll onto the tracks, causing a danger to rail traffic.
Have you sent police?
Yeah.
Thank you.
With items now being kicked onto the track, it's becoming increasingly dangerous for scheduled trains.
This is a live job that's happening right now. We can see the male walking along the platform in an unsteady manner, now returning to a seat in the middle of the platforms near his shopping trolley. With any luck, he'll remain there, resting comfortably. Ascertain if a police crew... Oh, he's off again. John, Tim here at Sydney Train Security. Look, the male person is wandering around in an unstable manner. He looks very angry in his demeanour. The concern is that the male is intoxicated, causing a danger to rail traffic.
With all trains instructed to slow down, the situation is escalating.
He may interfere with other passengers on the platform or fall on the tracks. Because the male may be placing himself or others in danger, police will upgrade the job.
If he was looking for trouble, he found it.
John, Tim here at Sydney Train Security. The male suspect has just attacked a male person on the stairs. The victim is now punching and kicking into the male suspect.
The attacker is now being attacked.
The offender will be requiring an ambulance for facial injuries. He's been observed to be punched in the head several times and kicked to the head. And the offender. And now another person has come up and attacked the victim. And the offender's up wanting to fight both of them. The other two victims, I'll call them, have left the area, and the male offender is now wobbling back up the stairs to the platform area.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the situation is now in the hands of New South Wales Police. Our train services have returned to normal, and all those involved are being spoken to by police. Just got another phone call to take.
Police on site.
Sydney Train Security, Tim speaking.
The bridge work is continuing towards tonight's midnight panel delivery. As the old sleepers are being removed, 9,000 bolts need to be fitted to hold the new cement panels in place. Complicating matters, there's only one service line onto the bridge. It's the only way to get equipment in or out.
We've got an hour. We've got an hour to get these 3 excavators off.
and to get the work train up and get all the boxes, all the jewellery and the clips and plates on, ready to start putting the first panel on.
As soon as he pulls that back, we're waiting, yeah. Why they stuck it there, I don't know.
The panel trains can't get onto the bridge until the steelwork is complete. If it's not ready, everything grinds to a halt.
Righto, mate.
And the water there, great, should have been a minute, mate.
5, 4.
Back at Chilora, 46 railway wagons will be needed to deliver the panels.
1, red line. Good catch. Out of stand.
They've been loaded in the order they'll need to be laid on the bridge. Now, just before midnight, the first train is complete and on its way.
It's going to head up via Enfield, down towards Marrickville and down to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So this one's actually out ahead of schedule, which is good. And it's all up to the boys down the bridge now. Good luck to yous.
The train, as they say, has left the station. But on the bridge, they're not ready. Not even close.
The train gets up here at 5. Yeah. We're going to start after that.
On the bridge, the workers are frantically trying to finish the steelwork.
You've got to do all the spans, isn't it? It's a lot of spans.
Yeah, I know.
We're slowly getting there. It's been a lot of hard work to get here today. There's a lot of people out there at the moment, and it's in excess of 200 people. So hopefully we're getting rewarded with the hard work we're putting in. So it'd be good to see how the fruit comes in the morning.
The work was supposed to be finished by midnight, ready for the first panel train. But for the last several hours, it's been parked at Milson's Point, unable to get onto the bridge, as more time slips away.
100%'s 24/7. We haven't got time to, we haven't got a minute to waste.
For Glenn and the whole bridge team, the pressure continues to mount. It's a busy night at the Rocks Security Control Centre too.
We are a 24/7 operation. There are incidents on the rail network at all times during the day and night, and we must remain vigilant to respond to these incidents in a timely manner.
Down on B barrier, Bravo barrier? No, it's back the other way. We just had a report from our police liaison officer that there's been a stabbing at Bankstown Railway Station.
Supervisor Stephen is dealing with another serious incident.
Yep.
Obscured by Bankstown Station's bus shelter, an altercation takes place involving a knife. Two boys flee for their lives towards the train station. They're pursued by their alleged attacker. He pulls down his hoodie to hide his identity. He's gaining on the pair fast.
Slowly. This isn't being pursued by this is our victim here.
Inside the station, the boys find a police officer. The assailant turns tail and runs. The policeman gives chase. But one of the boys sustained a stab wound to the leg.
Can we back that one up, Joyce?
Yep.
There's the injury to that's the injury to the victim's leg. He's alerting police. They're identifying where the offenders are. And the offenders here see the police are coming and they flee the area. So currently we're just trying to review some better CCTV images. He pulled his hoodie back. Go back to where he pulls his hood back. No, forward. This will end up being part of the police brief of evidence. We're just trying to get some identification images so that the police can hopefully make an arrest in the field. We just got the shot there of his hoodie coming back, which gives us a better identification image. Go one frame forward. No, it was clearer when you were back there. That's the clearest one. That may be a better image of him. His hood came back. It's very important, especially when we're looking at either identification of the offender or placing the offender at the location once the offence has occurred.
Stephen is working with police on the ground, feeding them information as they hunt for the suspect.
If we can just play forward, Joe. Offender with the knife in his possession. There is the knife. You can see when he turns around, he still has the knife in his hand.
The victim appears to have got off lightly. It could easily have been a deadly situation if not for the police presence at Bankstown Station.
The victim, who had a rather severe laceration to his lower leg, his right lower leg. I think the victim's probably in shock, doesn't realise what's really occurred.
For now, Stephen leaves it to the police and is on standby for any developments.
And now there'd be an ambulance being called for his laceration to his leg. Well done, Paul.
It's dawn back on the bridge.
James is almost finished moving some equipment, and then I will unblock.
Yep. Okay, you do this. I'll do this guy, and then the loader can then load up this panel. Yep, done. Okay, mate. Thank you, mate.
The team has spent all night on the steelwork, and finally, it's done.
Yeah, it's this train here, so we get these two excavators unloaded and off, and then we'll go train up. Who's got the contact?
The work vehicles are cleared from the access line, and the panel train can finally move onto the bridge deck. It edges carefully into position alongside the location for the first panel to go down. The steelwork on the bridge is old and imperfect. There's no guarantee the panels will fit.
We've done the checks we can do, we've done the measurements, we've done all the survey checks, we're just hoping everything lines up for the amount of the quantity that we have got.
The panel, all 2 tons of it, is hoisted off the wagon and gently lowered towards the bridge deck.
Where you gonna go, Max?
Just like the teams have practiced at Chilora, it has to be positioned perfectly.
That's not bad there, boys. On this end? You happy?
That's good.
It fits.
Go on, boys, go on.
Now there are just 265 more to do. For shift coordinator Damien, taking over from counterpart Glenn, there's a long day ahead.
I'm most concerned about the fact that everything has millimetre tolerances with the slab installation. It's all being surveyed, but you know, we're working on an old structure, so sometimes there are unknowns and clashes with some of the components we're trying to put together, even though it has already been checked once. And I'm also concerned about the weather, because at the moment we've got some major thunderstorms approaching from the northwest. We will keep going in the rain. The only issue is if it's an electrical storm, we are going to need to stop, and we will lose that time, and that's going to be difficult to make up.
It's late in the Sydney afternoon. It's been a hot and humid day, and with clouds rolling in, there's relief on the way for the evening commute. But for the team on the bridge, rain is the last thing they need.
Give him the big Sam. Yep, ready? What it does, ready? I'll get him.
They're behind schedule, and with only 5 days left to complete the job, the pressure's on.
Well, shall I have to move this container? Because the bolt's behind it.
After a troubled start, they're going full tilt trying to make up the lost time.
Yeah, the rain's coming, mate. Here it comes, boys.
Yeah, is it fucking on the radar?
I don't know where my jacket is.
But the weather is closing in again.
If it's sprinkling, pouring, if it's coming down hard, we're still working it.
With so much time to make up, they can't afford to stop work regardless of the rain.
Hey, Robbie, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good self. I was looking for my jacket.
So tents are brought in to cover the team.
They've got all the tents set up because when they lay the padding, the glue sticks to the steel to try and keep everything dry so everything stays together.
Even with the tents, the rain is another setback they can ill afford.
We're already a little bit behind, and this isn't going to make it any quicker, that's for sure. It's just hours under the program that we don't have. The rain, you know, when you're behind, you need to work through it. Obviously it needs to be done safely, but you need to work through it and get the trains back on the line.
Coming, man. Yeah, it's on the tall, son.
Things are going from bad to worse.
Coming, Dave. Dave!
A powerful Sydney storm is bearing down on the team.
Coming, man.
Extreme gusts of wind in excess of 70 kilometres an hour are tearing across the bridge, far stronger than ever expected.
Oh, Dave. Shorter.
The busy roadway is just 15 metres away. The team knows that if the tents blow into the traffic, it could be catastrophic. So they have to get them down fast.
Oh, man.
Together, they're able to dismantle the tents and get them down safely.
It's not ideal. This is, it not only holds up all of the work was done back there, when we've sealed up these pockets, they're all going to be full of water, so we've got to rework all of that. We're going to get all the water out before we pour concrete. So it's not only holding up work, it's creating rework.
After yet another major setback, the team faces the very real possibility they might not finish the job inside the 10-day window. Now, there's an even more serious problem.
Mitch, lightning.
Lightning.
Are we on our set?
The hoists are getting shut down as well because of the wind. The hoist. Now the only way out's the stairs.
They're standing on a giant, wet electrical conductor.
Let's go, boys, up the top. Come on. Up, drop. Let's go, Nick. Nick, pedal.
The only possible decision is to abandon the site.
Going down. Go. Hurry. Let's go. Oh, we're...
In the extreme heat of Sydney's summer, beautiful sunshine often gives way to ferocious thunderstorms. This huge storm has come at the worst possible time, peak hour. And just when you think things couldn't get worse, a massive lightning strike at Granville Station has taken out the signal box, bringing trains to a standstill.
This is major. This is absolutely major.
Incident Rail Commander Eade has been called in to help manage the crisis.
We got trains stopped at Parramatta, Harris Park, Granville, Clyde, Auburn, Lidcombe, and then you got the trains that go out to Leppington as well via Liverpool. So it's a major intersection there, a major junction, and no trains are moving and all the people are stranded, so they got people are unable to get home. They're banking up all the way now, so this is major. Was the signal box hit by electricity? Was it the interlocking? Do we know? What do we know? So what we've had was a lightning hit possibly at this stage that we know of, the signal box. We've lost the whole interlocking, which means the up and down south line, the up and down suburban lines and the up and down main lines.
Granville is a major hub for all of Sydney. Normally, trains would run through here every 2 minutes, but with the signal box gone, everything stops. Signaller Dave is dealing with a station rapidly descending into gridlock.
When it goes sideways, it does not stop. Running the panel and taking... That's yours, Floody. So you're trying to keep your trains moving, so you're just doing one thing after the other, just backwards and forwards.
It's like a row of dominoes. Trains can't get into Granville, so they can't leave the previous station, which impacts the station before that.
The headache's just all these trains sitting there, and people are struggling with comms. What to tell customers, because they just don't know what's going to move.
At the Rail Operations Centre, they're watching the peak hour service grind to a halt. Thousands of passengers will soon be stranded.
It's like the old teams back together.
Senior managers from all departments are called in from home to help.
They're really concentrating on big interchange locations where we know we're going to have issues with crowding, and then how do we deal with that? So sending a security marshalling team out to Granville, because there's a pretty limited local bus service there.
The signal engineers continue to work to get the panel up on track.
Back at Granville, the tracks are still silent. The team is working to get the signals back up and running.
We've got Jazz Gackle, he's the rail commander on site. We've got Megan, she's the manager signal box operations. She's also assisting her signalling staff in what needs to be done as well. The engineers and the signal electricians are in the box and doing what needs to be done.
Usually our surge protection protects us against the full fault coming through and killing the equipment, but it is microchips, so microchips will fry if the surge is close enough.
You can see on that panel up there, there's a lot of reds there, which means all those trains are running late. That's the panel that runs this old signal box. But as you can see, we got trains, if you'd have a look at it, they'd be banked up all the way back to Central.
Every minute the signals are down, the more passengers will be stranded on the stations.
There'll be thousands. That's all I can say. I'd hate to be on the platform now. I'd hate to be station staff. I mean, they can only provide them with the information that's provided from the Rail Operations Centre.
Sydney Train, how can I help you?
Becky knows exactly how the passengers are feeling. She's running the network's social media platforms.
Look, there's frustration on social media tonight, and I can completely understand that. We've all been in those shoes before. But generally speaking, people are really understanding. This is something that's out of our control. It's the weather.
The public is an additional invaluable source of information the ROC uses to plan its responses.
I mean, just had some photos come through of Lidcombe Station, which was really crowded. You can see here, like, the lineup was all the way out on the street, and then not only out on the street, but it also came up through the station. So you can see by that there's a lot of people for that to be backed up that far. So, I mean, it was information like that coming through that we were able to try and get some crowd control and stuff like that out there to try and help people. So the more information coming from the public, the more we can get onto things as soon as possible.
It's not only passengers who are frustrated. A boom gate is locked down at a level crossing in Sydney South. After waiting just several minutes, a truck driver takes matters into his own hands. First letting cars across the line, then incredibly, without knowing if a train is coming, he tries to cross himself. Halfway over, his rig catches the boom gate and is stuck. It's a perilous moment. He has absolutely no idea when the next train is due.
Hey, just ringing up. You've got this Pine Road level crossing footage up. I'm just watching it now.
It's been 3 hours since Sydney experienced its biggest electrical storm of the season.
That's what I'm worried about.
Taking out a signal box that's stranding thousands of commuters trying to get home. A truck is stuck at a level crossing. The boom gate is caught on the back of the rig. The driver has no idea if a train might be coming. So he drives on, dragging the boom gate with him. Back at Granville, the signal box circuitry was blown by the massive electrical jolt. Now, after several hours, it's all been replaced.
The top 5 red lights on these units were out, so that meant just pulling the 5 of them out, replacing them, plugging the new ones in from our spare stock.
It sounds easy enough, but only because engineer Daniel has years of experience under his belt to know what the fault is.
To lose the full interlocking is very rare.
Before the lines can be opened, safety checks still need to be done.
Just tell him to check the condition of the line and the overhead and the points between Yennora and Guildford, please.
That's good news. Thanks, mate. They reckon trains may start running in the next 10 minutes.
Has to be.
Finally, some good news. The signal is fixed and trains can now safely move through Granville again. Nearly 470 services were disrupted, 300 cancelled completely. Although the trains were up and running again, passengers still face a long journey. It'll be after midnight before many make it home.
Come on, let's go. Okay, thanks, mate. Have a good night, Jess.
Lots we can look at, but we just need everything in the same place.
The thunderstorm has Sydney Trains boss Susanna Holden worried. They need to find a way to make up time on the bridge.
We cannot afford to run into the next week because that's when the traffic starts to come back.
So we've obviously got the Possession Management Monitoring Centre established to monitor sort of minute to minute, hour to hour.
But we just can't afford to run into the next week.
Okay, so how much more have we got to do before this crane's ready to rock and roll?
The crane's ready to go now.
On the bridge, they might just have the solutions Susanna's looking for to get the remaining panels in place.
Tonight, if we get the road closure full at 10:30, we'll have till about 4:30. It's got to sort of work like clockwork, otherwise we won't get it done.
They've taken the drastic measure of closing 2 of the bridge's 8 traffic lanes to allow a second crane to be used.
I might just ring Greg and let him know about that 3rd lane.
It's a masterstroke. They've doubled the pace.
Yeah, he was getting some brought over from South Australia, but I'm not sure if that's it or we're still waiting for him.
By morning, shift coordinator Damien arrives at the bridge to the best possible news.
So they actually picked up a lot of speed overnight, so hopefully we got that time back.
In fact, by refining their systems, the team has caught up with the schedule. And perhaps the most significant moment of the build has arrived.
They've placed the second last panel. So this is the last panel on the whole job, sitting on the train here, so in about 5 minutes they'll be lifting that and the slabs will be in, which is a major milestone.
Panel 266, the very last one, is about to be lifted into place.
You know, I'm really proud to be on this project. We're making history. You know, before my shift today, I was actually, you know, looking at a documentary about how the bridge was built, and it was just amazing. And now I'm here, you know, recreating history, I guess. And it's, I'm really proud to be part of it.
Yeah, go on, boys. Good one.
All 266 panels have landed perfectly in place.
We're making history, guys.
It's a massive engineering achievement.
Mate, I'm bloody happy. I'm happier than I've been for a long while. That's possibly one of the hardest phases done. So, yeah, good feeling.
Everyone's been trying their best, putting in 100%. We've had some long days. We've had terrible weather, rain, hail, or shine. We've still got the, everyone came in, got the work done, and yeah, just couldn't be more proud to be working with all these guys here. Next challenge, I guess, is just to keep the project going. We need to make sure these trains run on Monday morning. So yeah, just keep giving it our best, and hopefully we'll get there.
We came here to put replace the timber transoms with a concrete deck, and now the deck is in. And there's more work that needs to happen to finish it off so we can reopen it for trains, but it just felt like a massive milestone today.
As the panel train pulls off the bridge, there is still plenty of work to do, but it is familiar territory. Over the next 3 days, the panels are cemented into place, the overhead power lines returned, and the all-important rails. Tons of steel gently slid up the line and locked into place.
We'll get the surveyors to do the final workers X check.
A survey ensures everything is millimetre perfect, and a test run makes sure it's safe.
I'll sit back and go through it, and I'll work out what they can do better next time. And
it's early morning, Monday, January 11th. The deadline the entire team has been working towards has just passed. And with only minutes to spare, shift coordinator Damien signed off the work as complete.
So it's been a significant achievement. We've had a lot of plant work trains, people from every discipline, a lot of specialised contractors, all working to a minute-by-minute schedule, which literally has just gone down to the wire, but the good thing is we got it done.
For Damien, there is just one more job to do. He has to catch a train.
I think I'll be getting off this train successfully, hopefully at North Sydney, and going straight back to the hotel. I'm just recording, I guess for my own purposes, that this is the first timetable train heading over the bridge after the upgrade.
It was the most ambitious rail upgrade in the bridge's history. 10 years in the planning, culminating in 10 intense round-the-clock days. 400 workers investing 12,000 hours of labour.
When you just look at the amount of time that's gone into it, and the different stages, and I guess the stress that went along with getting all that done, and dealing with all the unknowns. We got in by about that much, really, but we got it done. That's the most important thing. And here it comes.
After so many investing so much, it's a big moment. The first journey crossing between the old track and the new. Someone estimated the new line will last 120 years. And let's face it, no one's going to be around to argue if it doesn't. But today, as the first peak hour of the new year is set to start, this is a moment to remember.
And there we go. Feels smooth to me. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
This is very satisfying. That was actually great. You couldn't even tell when we transitioned onto the new deck. It was just perfect. Importantly for me, I wanted to feel that ride. I wanted to make sure it was as smooth as it looked and what the survey told us.
And I'm pleased to say that it was excellent. You couldn't even feel the transition onto the slab. It was perfectly smooth, which is exactly what we were aiming for. I'm very happy. I'm proud of the team. It's been a huge job. A lot of hours have gone into it, and I think that's a wrap.
Coming up, we get a revealing look at the gender politics that surrounded Julia Gillard's term as Prime Minister in Australia Uncovered, Strong Female Lead. Or over on SBS World Movies, it's The Light Between Oceans.